So this video is to help you with a few techniques when crocheting Zeus. So first I'm just going to talk around the pattern just to clarify anything that you might have queries on so you get a really good look at the doll. So in terms of his moustache, just to clarify, what you've got is two long loops either side and then short ones that run through the middle. And with his beard, what I was very keen to try and create is that square jawline. So you've actually got longer chain loops at the edges to shorter ones in the middle, and that's what gives it that lovely, really neat, rather than unruly, like I've done on some of the other dolls before, a very neat square jawline like that. Then at the back, you've got his crown of oak leaves. So once you've made the individual oak leaves, you just sew them on like that. Position your band first is the easiest thing. So put your band in place along the back. Again, neaten up that hairline with it. So what you'll have done with the hairline is done your chain loops in the rows, big gaps in the middle. So just to show you that, as always with the doll's hair, you always get the impression that it's covered in hair, but it isn't at all. They're actually quite spaced out in their lines, and then neaten it up by sewing that band in place before then sewing those oak leaves onto the top. And by the phrase in diagonals, it's just because I've start with the one at the end first and then layer them up backwards like that, so that they sit in position really nicely over the top of both of the ears. Now let's talk about his muscly arms. So very different to standard doll's arms, which are normally unstuffed, and they are straight, much simpler than this. And because he is Zeus, obviously very, very strong Zeus, he has got muscly arms, and that because of that, the arms don't match. You have got two different arm shapings to make sure that you obviously get the index finger in the top of both, and then this shoulder shaping. So that is the shape of the arm. You are stuffing them all the way down. And just to show you how to then sew it into place, if you put it on the side of his body, and they are quite close together in the back, and then you sew around that top edge like that, just over sew into place around that top edge. That way they'll sit forward and form that nice shoulder shape. Very new to me too. I've never made a doll that has shoulders like that in quite the same way, but I really wanted to represent his physical strength as well. Now, in terms of wiring, because a few of you have asked about wiring, if you wish him to obviously be able to hold up his lightning bolt either above his head or his eagle on his arm, you can then wire these. So all I would do if I was going to then add wire, as I always do, stuff and sew everything up first, and then gradually feed that wire in and through. And what I would say is you probably don't need to go right down into the hand. It would be more about getting a piece of wire through his body and then into the other side, just covering through the tops of both arms. And you have got that decreasing for the elbow. So do you see how as soon as you get that wire in, you can create really nice shaping with that elbow as well. So if you are going to want to add wire, then just take it straight through out the other side, and I would do it in one piece through both arms. Will give you the best effect. So then talking you through other pieces, with his sandals, what you do is you sew this into position first, and that way it'll be easier to then add the straps on. So just to give you a good 3D look at those. And in terms of the feet, these are the toed feet first used on the Statue of Liberty. So if you've not done Make Bobbles before and you'd like some help with these, go and watch her video, because that will all be covered in there. So that'll give you a bit more tips on creating the feet that have the toes. So what I then wanted to show you quite specifically is how to create these folds of fabric that you then sew in place to create the robe. Rather than, again, for the Statue of Liberty for reference, hers is very much a very solid piece of fabric. I wanted this to be a bit easier, simpler for you, and try out a few stitches. So you actually create these folds, and then you sew them in position to create the robe like that. Before I do that, all I just also want to show you is he obviously needed to have a muscular tummy. So all you're going to do here is 2 long stitches, and then sew your long stitches in that direction to represent a 6-pack just hiding there beneath that one that comes over his shoulder. So just to recap all the stitches of doing a fold, what I'm going to do is make one of the folds so that you can actually see it. So let's do the smaller one, just so I've covered all the stitches, and then you'll feel confident in doing that treble and the double treble and triple treble. So what you're going to do is chain, And then you're going to come back along that chain. So following your pattern, you'll be doing a series of double crochets, then half trebles. Half treble, you go round the hook first, in the stitch, yarn over, and then through all three in one motion. Then trebles. Now, I don't need them for this one, but I'm just going to show you the longer stitches so you feel confident in those double trebles and the triple trebles. So what I'm doing here is a treble. You go round the hook first, in the stitch, yarn over, you've got 3 loops, you yarn over and come through 2 at once, and then you yarn over and you come through the next 2. So that is a British treble stitch. So then to do the double treble, you go round the hook once and twice. So you've got 2 wraps around your hook before you go in. Then go into the stitch, yarn over, you've got 4 loops, and so you take them off 2 at a time again in the same way. So you'll be going through once, twice, and 3 times for a double treble. And then the triple treble just has that 1 extra repeat step. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3 times first, then in, yarn over, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your hook at that stage, and so you then just take them off in 2s in exactly the same way. So that's just going to give you an idea of all those longer stitches, and that's how you're going to be creating those lovely curves in terms of the folds. They're big kind of U shapes, but for now I'm just doing the small one, so I don't need all those longer stitches. I'm just going to finish this one off for you so you can see what you then do to turn the corner. So once you've completed coming back along the chain in one direction, what you're actually going to do is then double crochet along the top of that chain. So we've created that curve with those longer stitches and the increasing that's sitting there. So all you then do is you just double crochet along the other side of that top starting chain by going in like that through that half stitch and double crochet right the way along. And then just to clarify what you do next is you're then going to rework those other stitches again. So you'll carry on going in the same direction that you were going in, and you'll actually be working into those, the bottom of those stitches that you did last time. So go back onto that, 1, 2, 3. So what you've made is this lovely crescent shape in terms of a fold of fabric. Then just break that yarn, leave it quite long your end, because you're going to need that to then sew it into place once you've made them all. And I would recommend making them all first before you then position them in. Just to show you roughly, the smallest one I've got here, that sits across the top, and then the 3 longest ones are sitting beneath that on that side, using then the others to actually fill those gaps at the back. So another large one here and a medium one then at the side. It doesn't really matter where you put them. You could always make more if you wanted to. You could make that even longer by carrying on and adding more folds in if you wish to. Again, you could decide to cover that up at the back with another small one if you wanted to. So you can really be quite creative at that point if you did want to add additional folds onto that robe. So the last thing I just want to show you is the finishing touches to the eagle. Obviously very important part of this design. I really did want to represent Zeus and a few different fun features. So what we've got here is, this is the body and the head. And to add on the legs, just to show you that, what you're going to do is add your chains with your slip stitches on to put those little tail feathers in at the end, and the legs are just slipped on as well. So all you need to do is slip into place like that. chain 7, so you come right out like this, chain again, and then slip right the way down that main chain back to the body. And then break yarn, and all you then do is sew your ends into place so that you're adding that little foot with the 3 little claws straight into place. Now the beak is very much like how you would do another bird. You're just going to add some stuffing and then sew that into place, so that goes on to the center of the head. But then with the wings, to add the finishing touch to the feathers, what you're actually going to do is crochet the feathers straight on to the end. So slip stitch into the end of the wing like that, chain 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch 1, and then double crochet 1 like that, and then slip stitch in between the next round of the wing, so that what you're going to do is create a little feather. So 1, 2, 3, slip, double crochet, and then slip in between the next round, until you've got 6 on each wing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then as a tip for me, just so that the feathers curve in the same way, what I would then do is fold it in half like that, and then just mark where that one's going to be. And then you can slip stitch in that same place. So with the right sides facing forwards as I've got here, I'm just going to jump across to here, and then I'll do 6 to take me to the tip on the other side. And what I would do with the wings is actually gather this tip first and sew it in, so that with that 6th feather, you can get it right onto the edge of the wings. So that's those done. There's my body, my leg. I'm just going to show you quickly how to do the tail. And so with the tail, we're going to work 5 feathers around the bottom of the body onto this point here. So just think about the fact that it's 5. We're going to have 1 longer one in the center and then 2 either side. So if you just slip stitch into position, chain 5, and then slip 3, and double crochet 1, and then you slip stitch into the body, and then work that 4 more of those, so that you've got 5 tail feathers that just come off the bottom of the tail like that on the tip. Then all you do is sew this into place on the back of the body like that by over sewing, and then you've completed Zeus's very own eagle mascot like that. Just sew his eyes on in exactly the same way as you would as normal, but because he's very small, I would recommend just embroidering around 1 stitch like that rather than 2 as normal. Just do it around 1 stitch so his little eyes are in place. I hope that helps you when you are constructing Zeus. The only thing that I haven't actually mentioned, which I should, is obviously his lightning bolt. So his lightning bolt, all you're doing is you're creating like quite a wonky piece of crochet that has a definite wonk in the middle. That's the lightning bolt. And then you just crochet right the way around the edge of that piece. So fold it flat and you just double crochet around the edge. And that means that you get that lovely edge on the piece. I've actually sewn it into position on his hand so we can always hold his hand up, especially as if you do decide to wire his hands as I have now got there. Thank you very much, and do share your pictures. I would absolutely love to see them. Absolute icon and legend, Zeus, and now the actual symbol of our Mythologists subscription. So I do hope you've enjoyed receiving your patches as well.